I'm Daphne, coming from Torpa, working with tribal community from Khunti District in Jharkhand. Our organization started in 1995, and it is right from beginning, it has been always working with education. In 1998, I went there, and I used to go to the villages to supervise balwadis, supervise educational intervention in government schools. And children used to be absent quite often. So, of course, then I started interacting with the community, going for Gram Sabhas, talking to the women. And there were many reasons what they gave why children were absent, mostly that they had taken children on the field, children to the forest to take things out. And as I got engaged in the community, I realized that sometimes a person is sick in the evening and dies in the morning. During the cold season, neither children nor old people have enough of clothes or warm clothes in the house to wear. During the summertime, when there is not much rice or field things, there isn't enough to eat in the house except some rice and salt. On the other front, I saw the area is so rich in natural resources. There are lag plants, there are chironji plants, each family owns 1 or 2 acres of land. There are rivers around. And I said, what happened? And then I noticed that these women would take this forest product, get onto their head, go to the market, weekly market to sell it, and on the way itself, this dalal is to come, snatch it, and tempo full of chironjis, tempo full of fruits, jackfruits is to go, and it is barter system that they would exchange pile of chironji to 1 pile of salt, lots of lak, which is so expensive outside, would be given for the rice. Then I began to notice, I said, it is not fair on this community. So rich, work so hard, but any service out of the village that they needed, they had no money in their hand, and that's why no education, that's why no medical facilities were available for them. And I began to think what to do, began to talk to the community about it, and I kept telling them all these things which are selling there, exchanging, and these dalals which are exploiting. The value of it in the market is much more, but it was not making sense to these people because they have not seen outside world. They were in their villages. Anyway, so one fine day, I spoke to 20 women of Bishinpur village, and I said, let's go to Ranchi just for an outing, for a trip to see what is there. And we went and we gave them some money in their hand, and we told them to go to the shop and buy some chironjis, buy some salt, buy some fruits from the market, which they get in their forest, and they realize the worth of it. They realize the price of it. And so then we worked on it, and we said we will not sell it to this dalal. We took that, and we hired a tempo and took that to Ranchi market directly. The news went to the dalal, and they became alert, and they started sending signals to me. And then it was a big issue. There were lots of threats, and somehow the authorities in the power around me thought that it was not good for me to be there. The whole environment was not good, so I had to withdraw from there. I had to leave Torpa, but Torpa did not leave my heart, and those people were in my heart. So in 2010, I went again to Torpa. Things had not changed much, except few changes in the villages which are closer to the road. Same situation. Trafficking had increased by then. Trafficking of the girls, of the youth had increased, and malaria deaths had increased also. So with my staff, we started sitting and thinking how to relate these natural resources, so much of a wealth of this area, to people's life and making people's life better. So accordingly, we started planning and we noted down few rich resources like lakh, like chironji, plenty, which is wasted, which dalals have been just exploiting. And we started working with the community. When we started working with the community, give them technical support, took them on exposure trips, did lots of land holding, our people are simple. Our people are very innocent and ignorant. They are unexposed. They don't know the value outside. That is their world. There are no hospitals. Till 3 years ago, in the villages where we are working, especially the village story which I'll tell you, a pregnant woman, if the delivery is difficult, she had to be brought on the cycle down the hill at least 5 kilometers to get just first aid. So we started slowly working with them. And when we worked with them, whatever money they were getting, they were getting around 5,000, 6,000 rupees a year from the lakh produce, because each one have 2 acres of land. Each one has at least 8 to 10 host plants of lakh cultivation, chironji plants. Their income increased by 3-fold and 4-fold. They are so simple, they used to ask what to do with this money. So we had to teach them the whole economy, how they can invest this money, where they can do the fixed deposit. In fact, the banks also today, for some villages, they have to come at least 35 to 40 kilometers to have one bank. And sometimes they have to go back because they are not able to do the transaction. Till today, there are no buses. There is no public transport. And 62 villages that we are working in, only 22 villages have electricity. The rest of the villages do not even have electricity there. So when this money got increased, we had to really educate them, take that time to educate them. Now, when it increased, there is so much of transformation. And I would like to say one story about one village called Baghia from Rania block, 27 households. In 3 years of handholding and support, the village had changed, transformed. Now, in this village where there was nothing, they have got 4 motorbikes. They are able to bring their women for their hospitalization down on their motorbike. They are able to go to the bank. One farmer who got 1,53,000 rupees 1 year income from lakh, he was overwhelmed, thrilled. And he said, I must do something for the village. And what he did is he brought one TV and solar panel, because there is no electricity there. And every day, evening, whole community sits in front of that TV and watch Krishi Darshan. And with that, now they are able to do something more in their fields. There is charai bandi they have given. Charai bandi meaning they earlier used to just let loose their cattle. And then cattle would go on anybody's field. But with this, Gram Sabha has become strong. And in Gram Sabha, they said, we will not let loose our cattle just like that. In outskirts of the village, they have just reserved one plot for fodder, where they all plant also every year with their shramdan. And they have managed in such a way that once a month, one family is responsible that all the cattle of the village are grazing there. When we plan this livelihood, it is different in different villages according to the resources. But we have inbuilt strategies where village leadership is harnessed, where people are able to look at the other problems of their village and have solution together, because anyway, tribal community works as a community together. And that's one of the big challenge for us, that whatever we do not want to spoil their communitarian value system. And we try to take care of those things. We are working in 62 villages, different interventions, different on livelihood. There are certain challenges which we all face, like three things. One is Naxal, because it's a Naxal-infested area. Sometimes staff goes to the villages. There are no mobiles working because there are no towers. So when they go on the way, if they realize that somewhere down the road, if there is a meeting of the Naxals people, they cannot pass, they cannot cross the road. They have to go back to that village and stay. And we just believe that they are safe there, and they come maybe after 1 day, 2 days. Whenever they come back. There are other challenges of dalals, because right from beginning, the dalals have got used to extracting all these, exploiting people from these goods. So when the marketing linkages are done, we have to face them, and we have to make sure that all is well, and every time all is not well, staff has to take a lot of risk. Till 30 to 40 kilometers when we go to the villages, there is no petrol pump, there is nobody who can look after, who can take the puncture out, repair the vehicle. So if the vehicle is punctured, two-wheeler is punctured, they have to ठेल के लाना पड़ता है. ये सब challenges है. तो भी, but there is a great joy when we see with this help, when these 27 families, their life has become better. They are getting quality in their life. There are much less deaths. There are many more pregnant women are able to survive their children. There are traffic girls in these villages are now reduced, and villages are able to make their decisions. There's work to do, and there is plenty to do. I just want to thank IRLS to giving a chance to bring our community to this stage. Thank you.